Garden plants and pathway landscape design. In garden landscapes, pathways serve not only functional purposes like guiding pedestrian flow, transportation, and fire access, but also create dynamic scenery in themselves. The plant arrangement along these paths, beyond its ecological function, is primarily designed to enhance the aesthetic experience for visitors. As people walk along the garden paths, the changing views can create a continuous dynamic scene, offering a variety of perspectives as they move. In this lesson, we will explore the garden plants and pathway landscape design. Let's first learn about the key points in designing pathway plant landscapes. Guidance. The arrangement of plants at the entrance and turns of garden paths can serve as guides or markers, often using solitary trees and ornamental tree clusters. Guiding plants should be distinct and noticeable in both color and size to effectively catch attention. Creating focal landscapes. At the entrance of pathways, intersections, and turns, plants are often used to create barriers, scenic frames, or focal points in the landscape. For example, planting a flowering shrub at a turn in the path not only blocks the view ahead, but also serves as a visual focal point. Using composition principles, balance, and contrast. When using asymmetrical plant arrangements along pathways, it's important to maintain a balanced plant landscape to avoid creating a distorted or isolated spatial feeling. Primary and secondary relationships. When arranging plants along garden paths, it's essential to choose a base tree species, a dominant tree species, and complementary species. The primary and secondary plants should be clearly distinguished, with a balance of density and spacing to achieve both diversity and unity. For instance, in the diagram, the base tree species is cedar with a lawn, while the dominant tree species in different sections include white magnolia, cherry blossom, and crepe myrtle, complemented by various flowering shrubs. Rhythm and cadence. In pathway plant landscape design, emphasis is placed on creating a continuous dynamic composition. It's recommended to use alternating and gradual rhythms in plant arrangements to avoid monotony. In this pathway plant arrangement plan, you can see how crepe myrtle and osmanthus are alternately placed on either side of the winding path, creating a sense of rhythm and visual harmony. Layering and background. The layering of plants along the path is primarily aimed at enriching the colors along the route and showcasing a beautiful vertical composition. For example, on one side of the pathway, a layered arrangement of trees, shrubs, and flowers create a varied height profile, while the other side features a simple, expansive lawn. This contrast between complexity and simplicity highlights the diverse and colorful plant landscape along the path. Alternatively, plants can be arranged along the path from low to high, gradually pushing outward to enhance the sense of space. From previous analysis, we understand that designing pathway plant landscapes involves considering plant guidance, focal point arrangement, and the use of composition principles. Different types of garden paths have their own specific design considerations. Let's first look at the plant landscape design for main roads. The main road refers to the pathway that connects the garden entrance to the central areas, key buildings, and major attractions, typically with a width of 4 to 6 meters. The main road's landscaping represents the overall image and style of the green space, so the plant arrangement should be captivating and reflect the intended atmosphere and grandeur. Plants along the main road should generally have elegant trunks, dense canopies, and an appropriate height, with species like ginkgo, cherry blossom, and golden rain tree being good examples. For flat and straight main roads, a formal, symmetrical arrangement is often used. For winding and curving main roads, a naturalistic arrangement is preferred, using plants of varying colors and forms to create clusters with different heights and densities. For the main road, using a single tree species or primarily featuring one type of tree can help convey a specific style or highlight a seasonal characteristic, such as a sweet gum avenue to showcase autumn or a cherry blossom avenue for spring. On longer, naturalistic pathways, using only one tree species can feel monotonous and rigid. To create a more vibrant and engaging path, multiple tree species can be used in combination. However, it's important to maintain a clear hierarchy, with one dominant tree species to ensure unity and harmony amidst the variety of colors. Plant landscape design for secondary roads and walkways. Secondary roads are the primary pathways within different sections of the garden, typically 2 to 3 meters wide. Walkways are narrower paths for leisurely strolling in quiet areas, usually only 1 to 1.5 meters wide. Secondary roads and walkways are generally narrower and often wind through the landscape, allowing for more flexible and varied planting arrangements. In some cases, planting may be limited to one side of the path, with simple combinations of trees or a mix of trees and shrubs. Some walkways may be enhanced with flower borders for additional greenery. Certain segments of the path can feature specific plants to create distinctive plant landscapes, such as a lilac path or a cherry blossom path. Additionally, the design should take advantage of the varied terrain, especially by incorporating and supplementing existing vegetation to enhance the natural charm of the pathway. Along the path, plant density should be varied. Dense areas can feature naturally shaped tall trees or bamboo groves, while sparser sections can be planted with shrubs and ground cover, creating a balance of ecological and natural beauty. Plant landscape design for specialty paths. In gardens, beyond the main and secondary rows, various types of plants are often used in conjunction with the terrain to create paths with distinct atmospheres and experiences. For example, the mountain forest path winds through the woods, offering a tranquil and deep experience rich in the charm of the forest. Such a path should have a certain length, curvature, and slope to emphasize the secluded forest atmosphere. The trees along the path should be of considerable height and thickness, with low-growing ground cover beneath to evoke a forest ambiance for visitors. For instance, the dense forest area in Hangzhou's Flower Harbor, with a slope of up to 2 meters, features plantings of sweet gum, Quercus acutissima, Celtis sinensis, and black locust, creating a shaded and secluded environment where the path feels like a small mountain trail within a dense forest. Bamboo paths have been a classic element in Chinese gardens for centuries. Bamboo is ideal for creating a winding, tranquil, and deep garden path environment. Bamboo planted on both sides of a path must be of sufficient thickness, height, and depth to create the feeling of a deep bamboo grove. Examples include the winding paths of Hangzhou's three-pool mirroring the moon and Yunqi bamboo path. The bamboo path at Hangzhou's Yunqi stretches for 800 meters, with mosso bamboo reaching heights of 20 meters on either side. Walking through this winding bamboo path naturally evokes the serene atmosphere described as a winding path leads to a secluded corner, where a meditation retreat is hidden in flowering shrubs. Flower paths create an enchanting atmosphere through the vibrant colors and forms of flowers, offering an artistic enjoyment of natural beauty. Examples include the peach blossom path in Hangzhou Botanical Garden, where the blossoms are luxuriant and captivating, and the cherry blossom path at Wuhan University, which becomes a sea of pink flowers in spring. Flower path plants should be chosen for their abundant blooms, beautiful shapes, bright colors, or fragrance. Suitable species include white magnolia, weeping crabapple, lilac, forsythia, azalea, and cherry blossom. Flowering shrubs should be densely planted, ideally with background trees to enhance the lush floral display. Course summary. This lesson covered the key points in designing pathway plant landscapes, including the design of main rows, secondary rows, walkways, and specialty paths. For your homework, you can apply what you've learned by practicing plant arrangements for different garden paths using the provided landscape design plan. That concludes today's lesson. Thank you for listening.